Hi and welcome to this live session kind of thing with Northern Resonance. We are in Arbrå, my home village where I grew up, and yeah.
Yeah. We are releasing our upcoming album on January 12th, and we thought it would be fun to play some tunes from the album and just share some stories behind the tunes, and also like how we have been working with the tunes for the album. It's already quite snowy in Sweden and cold, so we got into the Christmas spirit, and before we play the next tune, maybe we should just have a little
you've been talking a lot about this.
I've never tried it actually before.
You've never tried it?
No.
You said it was delicious.
Yeah, I lied. But it's like, so it's glubbel, it's like mulled wine and prosecco.
Glubbel.
Glubbel. So cheers everyone.
Cheers.
Get something to drink and yeah, cheers.
It could be better.
I think it's good, but yeah.
I mean, I'm going to drink it, but it's sure.
Okay.
It's quite, special with being, because we've been in this bubble, this album production bubble,
This global
for a year now, and it's weird because you write the music and you go into the studio and then you do the whole production work, and you just want to tell everyone, and soon, like it's literally now weeks until we go on the tour to release the album. We could not hold ourselves, so we just wanted to kind of meet everyone just a bit earlier.
Yeah. And we have the CD here. It's all printed and done. And I got a mail today saying that the vinyls are going to be shipped to us next week, so we will have them before Christmas.
Should we take another tune maybe?
Maybe that's the best thing.
Yeah.
So what do we want to play?
Kansas?
Yeah, I want to play Kansas.
Yeah.
This is a tune we went to the United States, to Kansas City earlier this year, and participated in the Folk Alliance International conference. We did what do you call it? A showcase. We played a showcase. So we did some rehearsal on my hotel room, and this tune kind of just came up, popped up in my head, and it became this tune.
Yeah. I just have to check the tuning.
Yeah.
Real quick. Yeah, and we are coming back to Kansas this year. No, next year,
Next year.
2024.
Yeah.
We are.
You didn't like it?
I think it's quite okay.
I mean, I will continue to drink it, but out of politeness.
You have
but-
something else to drink. You have julmust.
Yeah.
And
that's
beer?
True. That's true.
So you don't have to drink it.
We're gonna be away for Christmas, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I do.
But it will be weird.
It will be weird. I mean, Christmas is snow and cold and you know.
Seal.
And pickled herring, and we're going to. Should we say that?
Yeah, we're going to Australia.
We're going to Australia.
Yay.
Yeah.
And it will be amazing. I'm really excited, but it will be quite the opposite from Swedish Christmas, I guess.
Barbecue, beer, sun, and
Spiders.
and snakes.
I hate spiders. I'm actually terrified.
Yeah.
I've never felt more alive.
You should tell this for the audience, not us. We know this.
We know that you're
very well.
terrified of spiders.
Yeah.
And then we're going to the US, to Kansas again,
Yeah.
for Folk Alliance, and then to the East Coast, right?
To the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah. That's in February and March. So it's going to be a fun year. We have more tours also, but we're not going to announce them quite yet. And we also got some questions on our Instagram and Facebook, so I thought we could maybe answer some of them, start off with some of them. Let's see. Maybe we should just start from the beginning. How did we start as a band?
Well, it was your idea.
Yeah.
I think that's a question for you.
Yeah, I mean, when did we start? 2018?
18, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so 5 years ago?
Well, we had the first gig in 19, right?
Yeah, but we had
First
1 year.
rehearsal.
1 year of just practice and
Yeah.
sort things out.
Yeah. Well, the idea was kind of, I think it was when I started at the Royal College of Music in Stockholm. We had like the first days, this was in 2017, so 1 year before we started. We had like 2 days with Ale Möller, a great musician from Sweden. And we were like divided into groups to play with each other. And I was in a group with only nyckelharpa players.
What a nightmare.
Sounds lovely.
My worst nightmare. But it was the first time I picked up my viola d'amore and played together with the nyckelharpa. And it was really cool to hear like the resonating strings together. So when I was like walking home from school, I was like putting a note in my phone saying like dream trio, like hardanger fiddle, viola d'amore and nyckelharpa. And then I was like, I already knew that I wanted these guys.
And that was based on the sympathetic strings?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because all of the instruments, the hardanger fiddle that Jerker is playing has like 4 strings that you play on and then 5 sympathetic strings. I have 5 strings that I play on and then 5 sympathetic strings, and you have...
I have
4 that you play on?
Yeah, 4 that I play on and 12 sympathetic strings.
Yeah.
So it's chromatically 1 for each note.
Yeah. So like the idea was like a resonating trio. But I was a bit too afraid to ask the guys if they...
Why?
Because, I mean, we have played together before.
Yeah.
And we had been like, not because we don't like each other, maybe because we like each other too much.
I hope so, because you're married.
Yeah, and we had said like that we should not be maybe in a band together or like playing together because
Try to separate
work from. But then it was like when I had this idea, I was like, but Jerker is a really good musician and he's amazing on playing the hardanger fiddle, so I really want him in this project. So I was like, I didn't tell him for like 6 months, but then I did tell him about like, I have this idea. And then you were like super excited from the beginning.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said was like, okay.
We should talk to Petrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we had played with each other since 2014.
Yeah, something
13.
like 13, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, that was, yeah, solid.
Yeah, and I also had that idea. Then we started playing together the summer of 2018. We had like the first get together.
Yeah, and I think the plan was not to like to start searching for gigs.
No.
I think we said that okay, let's just practice for 1 year or something like that, and have like a steady set list
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
But
and
then we recorded a video.
we recorded a video, and then we released like we had 2 songs on a repertoire,
Yeah.
and we recorded them and released them as like 2 singles. And then like the day after we released them, I got a phone call from an organizer who asked if we could come and do a gig.
1 hour.
1 hour gig.
Yeah.
And also playing for dancing afterwards. Like 2 months from that call. So then we kind of wrote like the rest of the repertoire.
Yeah, and I think that he asked if we like had material for 1 hour.
Yeah, and
we
we
said yes, of course.
Yeah.
We did absolutely not.
And then we just like did all our repertoire for the first album like in 2 months.
Yeah.
And we did a gig which was amazing.
I don't think that the gig was amazing, but
Yeah, I think it was. It was a really nice gig.
Yeah.
I really like that venue.
I didn't mean that. I don't like the venue. The venue is amazing, but I was talking about our like.
Yeah, we put in some solo tunes as well
Yeah, I
and things
think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
But it was really nice.
It was a lot of like presenting the instrument, I guess,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. And it's been like very, because as far as we know, this is the only setting, like only band with this setting. So it's quite a special setting to work with, which is really fun. And maybe that also brings us to another question, which was how... Let's see if I found
Should we say from who the questions are?
I don't have all the names. But it was also like, how do we think... Oh, you got that question.
Yeah, I got the
That's why I didn't find it.
Yeah. How do you think when... how do we think when we write the arrangements? Was the question.
Yeah.
How do we think?
I think we always have like a melody
Yeah.
that we try to work through.
Yeah, I think that's
And
a
just-
very like fundament.
Yeah.
If the tune is not good, I mean,
We
it's not,
can't.
you can't save it.
No.
It's like it's got to be a good tune.
I mean that's must be like the standard for us. But
Yeah.
but of course we have like written tunes
Yeah.
like together. But
Yeah, on the new album we have 2 tunes
Yeah.
that
yeah,
we
but-
have composed together, which is new. So that's really exciting.
But the way we think, I don't know. I don't really think.
I think usually it's like we have the melody, and then usually we start with like a second
second
voice.
harmony, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That often are in the lower.
yeah,
What do you say?
Register.
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes we also have to like start by thinking like, even maybe I will bring a tune that I have composed, but it doesn't like in this setting the melody should be like, for example, in the Hardangerfiddle or in the Nyckelharpa. So we start by also seeing like who should have the melody,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
and we usually also switch like who has the melody
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
arrangements.
during the tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's just like we try every idea we have. I think that's one thing that we really do. Is like we try everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if we don't believe in them
Yeah.
in the beginning, we always try. them.
Yeah,
Sometimes it just sorts itself out
yeah,
overnight.
yeah,
Just record it, let it be, and then go back to it.
yeah. And
But-
we
and then when we have like the melody and the second harmony, I think the next step is usually that we try to write a third harmony,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That has all the notes that aren't played at
Yeah.
the exact moment.
yeah.
Yeah. And I like the influences. I don't really know. I mean, I think the ideas from an arrangement maybe comes from what you listen to otherwise as well. I mean, I think we always pick up influences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Music that we listen to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be like folk music.
No,
I think
no.
it's more often not folk music.
Yeah, more often. Like
Yeah.
Right.
my Spotify playlists are everything like from archive recordings to metal. So
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
and
Pretty
I mean,
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my Spotify Wrapped now, like when they go through like the things you've been listening to, and I don't think it was any folk music on my.
No.
No, it
Oh,
was
it's
a
quite
bunch
a
of
lot,
other things for me.
For me, it was country music from USA.
Yeah. Well, we're going to Nashville, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and also like some tunes, I know that like the Quarantine Waltz, that is one of the tunes on the album, we basically arranged like in one session. It was
Yeah.
really easy to arrange. It was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, some
felt very natural. And then some tunes like Number One, our first single that we released for the album, it took like almost a year because
Yeah.
we started arranging it, and then it was like we started arranging other tunes, and it was like we put that one aside, and then we came back to it, and for a while I was like, we will not finish this tune because
Yeah.
we just couldn't wrap it up, and then we managed to do it, and it was great.
Should we play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
No,
thinking?
the thing that I think, because we have already, like, we don't play the tunes now as we recorded them
No.
on the album.
No.
So we have already started to like rearrange some details
Yeah.
on the tunes, and I think that's something that is very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I really like that.
It keeps it fresh.
Yeah, and also like with the tunes from the first album, we have rearranged a lot, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's play number one, your tune.
Yeah, which I wrote on the Hardanger fiddle.
Yeah.
For
The
Jerker.
A.
The
Or
A
is it-
fiddle, yeah. Yeah, number one.
I think it's always hard to know if we are going to end with an up bowing or a down bowing.
You always change also.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, should we go on to next question?
Yeah.
Which one should we take? What is your favorite tune that you released?
That we have released?
Yeah, that we have released. Oh, we also have which one's the favorite tune on the album.
Yeah.
But let's start with the...
That we have
Release.
released. Yeah. It's kind of choosing between two.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Hemfärd
Yeah.
or Barnefött from
We
the
did a
Christmas EP.
Yeah. I really like the Christmas EP also.
Yeah, but I think it's Hemfärd.
Yeah.
I think it's Hemfärd.
Then I also have two.
Yeah.
We did like Holy Night on the Christmas EP, Stilla natt in Swedish. And I think that one is really nice with the nickel harpa.
Thank you.
It's like very like cinematic, which I really like. But also Hemfärd for me, which is quite funny because I know when we started a band, I think we said like we will not have like one tune that is like the signature tune for the band.
Yeah, that we always need to play on every single gig.
Yeah, and that we always open with, and it is like everyone's favorite. And then Hemfärd I was looking also at like the tunes that people have listened most from us. And it was like top 3 was like Hemfärd with we did the collaboration with Siggi from Belgium. That was like number 1. Number 2 was Hemfärd from our first album. And number 3 was Hemfärd as we released as a single before. So like it's obviously also a tune that you guys like.
And we hate it. We're so...
We like it.
It's my tune.
No,
I love it.
It's
actually one of the favorite tunes, yeah.
I think for me, actually it's Kjønneblommen.
Yeah, that's also very nice.
I think I like that one most because it's so... If you compare it to all the other tunes, it's very... I mean, you can really hear that we really worked with those harmonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like... I don't know how many hours we could like spend on that one.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more if you compare it to the other tunes. If you just talk about the harmonies.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tune. And it was so hard on the D'Amore. It was really nice like for you with the tuning.
Yeah, for me it's super easy.
Because you have different tunings on your different fiddles.
Yeah, this one I have it in A. And this one is in C.
So Jerker played on the one in C, and I had to like, it was really shitty to play for me. But it's, I agree, it's a really nice tune. It's a traditional tune.
The funny thing that's like we can't play it with other people because we have it in the key that no one plays it in.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
That's too bad.
What's the favorite tune on the
upcoming album?
the next one?
For me, it's Kansas City.
It is?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's something new about it for us.
Yeah.
And we started to play it when we were in Kansas City, obviously. But I think that like tour or what you should call it was so inspiring. And made us like with growth with it.
It was the first time for us in the US, so it was quite an experience. It was really fun, and we're so much looking forward to come back and explore like more of the States. It's a nice tune.
And for you?
I think it's hard. I really like Fasterud, which is the opening track on the album. But I think that's mostly because I get to play melody like down on the C string on my D'Amore. it's like the only tune where I get to do that. And you always tell me to chill. But it's really fun to just play the melody down there. And like on most tunes, I have some sort of more like second voice or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to play the melody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know your favorite.
Yeah, you know my favorite tune. My favorite tune is called "Fuck That Car," and I think it's a great one. It's one of the tunes that we wrote it together, and it's not just because I get to play the melody very fast. That's not the reason. I think it's because it's like a movie in my head when we play it. It's a dedication to all the crappy cars, or a dedication to, or maybe like a peaceful acceptance that we should not be owning cars, because
we should own them, but we really
just
need
bad with-
insurance.
Because
Always
like,
get insurance.
yeah, and it's just like it plays a video in my head of all the terrible things that has happened while we play it, and it's, I mean, you fell a tree on top of your car, and you managed to get your car on fire while you were driving.
Just a little bit on
In the
fire.
tunnels underneath Stockholm City.
Yeah, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like a big dangerous fire. It's like a
small
fire.
It was
cute
just
fire.
like a little spark.
And I managed to be in two different well, obviously different, but two car accidents in I think 1 month.
And you always forget to turn off the lights.
Yeah, constantly.
Always. It's like, I don't understand how you don't, like, when you don't turn the lights off, it's like a
Always
noise
this,
in the car,
Yeah.
and you just ignore it.
Yeah. I do.
So
Yeah,
we
I did.
actually had to like,
I did.
how, like 3 years ago when we were on tour, like in the middle of the winter, the battery died because Petrus had forgot to. We were like after a gig, having beers, having a nice time, when the hotel called and was like, your lights has been left on. So we had to spend the night.
It was super cold.
Yeah, we had to spend the night to charge the batteries.
It was cold.
Not okay.
And then Petrus did it
Minus
again.
20. I think that's
fair enough.
That's cold.
Yeah, well, everything worked out. Everyone survived.
Yeah. Well, we actually got it because I posted some pictures on our Instagram on Petrus's old car, which was like a blue, nice car that was like duct taped to
was
be
it
like...
Was it a Volvo?
It was a Volvo.
Yeah, an old Volvo with duct tape.
I bought it for 7,000 crowns. That is like, what is it, like $700 or 700 euros, or and it was out first for. He wanted 850 for it, but I managed to get the price down because
it was too high.
It was it was too high. That was a really crappy car. It all of a sudden just like it's dead now. But
yeah, we actually got a question because when I posted those images, someone asked the question, "How is the car?"
Oh,
Well,
No,
you
no,
tended
no,
the cars?
that car.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I what do you call it when you just like destroy it?
you go to the bilskrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they like, and I bought a new one.
Yeah.
For 5,000 Swedish crowns.
No, let's play Fuck That Car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to change the violin. Se.
Jag vet. Jag hörde det. I always have this problem that I don't remember which key the tunes are in. So I always need to like hear Anne and Petrus play some part of the tune before I like.
Or he just looks at us being like,
Yeah.
and then he like take one fiddle and he's like, is this the right one?
Yeah.
didn't realize when I started the band how much we needed to tune. But
Worth it.
It's way too much.
it's way too
It's
much.
worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, did you have the movie in your head, Petrus?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. There's cars on fire and
Yeah.
off the cliffs.
Well, that's actually like, we got a question that was like, what does your inspiration come from? And also, what more music do you have planned? It's like two questions in one.
Yeah.
Well, here was a quite obvious inspiration when we wrote this one.
Yeah.
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 I don't think that we can actually like tell them about what
It's a
we're
secret.
planning to
Oh, what we're planning,
to
yeah.
do.
No.
Let's keep that a secret.
Yeah.
We have things.
It would be nice, though,
Yeah,
I
we
think.
have some ideas.
Yeah.
And
This
things
is like
happening.
the bubble that we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like you just want to tell people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this is coming up, and we're gonna do that and that and that, and then you
Yeah.
kind of have to.
And I-
sit quiet.
We want to
I
do
think-
it first.
Yeah, and I think that I guess that you always like try to tell like, well, this going to be big
Yeah.
before it has happened. But I really think this
This
will be
is going
big.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but we have more music coming. We are working on some very fun things. One thing we can say is we're doing a collaboration with
Yeah.
the Siger, as we mentioned before, also from Belgium, and that
Check
is
them
actually
out.
like, yeah, they're amazing. And we're going to do a tour with them in the fall of 2024. They were here in Järvsö, our hometown, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that is actually something we can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And inspiration.
I think it's different things.
I think also we're quite different. Like
Yeah.
when
for
we
sure.
write music, where we get
Yeah.
inspiration from.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always try to like write tunes by inspiration, but I never success. I always like have, well, now I'm going to write a tune for this person or for this happening. But I always like ending up with just having the first part done, and then I just like I can do it later tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then suddenly some tunes just come to me. Like
Yeah.
I have the A part and the B part almost like in 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think every tune that we play in Northern Resonance that I have composed is in that way. So
Right. Right.
I don't think that I need inspiration. I want inspiration, but I don't need it because
I don't need it.
No. Well, I guess not.
Well, I guess I'm the same. I usually write tunes when I don't have inspiration. It's usually like when I change my strings or like.
inspire myself.
No, it's more like when
Really
I
by
feel really
inspiration.
uninspired when I feel like I need to do something because I feel so uninspired.
Right.
And then it's usually like when I practice the same stuff over and over again. And then I start playing around and then just find something that I think is nice. But it's not very often that like, it's usually like the music comes first and then the story comes afterwards. Like when I think back to like when I composed it. But it's not often I like have a clear picture of like, this is the inspiration, and then I write a tune from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm quite like I do that as well, but more often it's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's like something happens, and you write some music to that, like to this person or this place or this event or whatever it is. Sometimes it's just a feeling, like you walk around and you feel happy or you're like sad or something, and you don't really know why, but it's like this need to play some music just comes up.
Yeah, and you all also always like want pictures,
Yeah, I want pictures.
like frames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That you need to have.
Yeah.
You always talk about, well, I need something. Like, tell me something about this tune.
Yeah, we had that
it's
with
a
one
big
we
problem.
arranged
It's
that I had
it's
composed.
A really big problem when there's no picture, and then we try to like to build up a combined picture.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense for me, but for Petrus it's like, okay, now we're home.
Yeah.
I have it now.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be big. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a big elaborate story. It's just like, this is a happy tune. I wrote it when I was sitting in that room.
Yeah.
Then I have something to think about.
Maybe we should just ask you guys to write us stories, so we always have it. So like when Petrus asked me and Jerker, like, what's the story behind this tune? We can just like bring up the story and like.
yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Because I'm terrible at it. I remember when we were arranging one tune earlier this year, and you were like, "But what is the meaning behind the tune?" I was like, "There is no meaning. It's just a good tune."
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're fine with it, I can just come up with a picture myself,
Yeah.
and then.
Apparently not when you ask me and Anna.
But it's like it feels like more respectful in a way.
Yeah,
It's
of
like
course,
you
of
wrote the
course.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm gonna tell you what your music is about.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah. We got some more questions. Also, like, what was the most difficult tune that we recorded for that?
Voja lilla barnet.
But was that so hard to record? It's terrible to play live. It's really
Yeah,
hard
maybe.
to play live. But
Maybe it's a new tune from the new album.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe that's right because we can't manage to like play.
it's so hard to play it live.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's like it's
You
super
really
hard.
need to be in the right
Mood,
feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I-
think for me it's still that
Yeah.
one because it's so complex. It's so tiny. The tune
Yeah.
is so tiny and
It's very
And-
delicate.
It's
yeah,
a very like minimalistic. Also, the arrangement is like
yeah.
quite
Yeah.
minimalistic.
So for me, I must say Voja
Yeah.
lilla barnet.
Yeah, I kind of changed my mind since a couple of days ago. I'm gonna say that one as well.
Yeah.
For the same reason.
Yeah,
It's like because
Yeah.
the direction we need to have the same direction.
Yeah.
It's and like we said, it's so delicate and so tiny.
Yeah, but I also remember like when we were recording in Studio Trad in Belgium,
yeah,
and I remember when we were there, the hardest tunes like was the ones that we had played a lot.
yeah. That's true.
Like I remember like the Quarantine Waltz was so hard for some reason, like
Kind
to get the intro and the rest of the tune together.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
we recorded the intro like to click.
Yeah,
And then the rest of the tune was not to click, and it was like I remember that it was that kind of tune because it was so easy to arrange. I thought it was just going to be super easy to record because it's one of the like the tunes that we really know.
yeah. We have played it for like
Yeah.
2 or 3 years now.
But then
Yeah,
I remember
something
it was like I got so like shocked because it was so hard to get it.
But on the
Yeah,
other
that's
hand,
true.
it's like you also know for that reason
Yeah,
that it can be this good.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It can be
Yeah.
a bit better.
Yeah,
Like with the new tunes, it was like this sounds great.
yeah.
It was super.
just because it's a new tune.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
was
so excited,
fun to
yeah.
record. It's
Yeah.
fresh and it's new. Let's
Yeah.
go with that one. You know?
Yeah.
But also like I remember, was it like the last day we were recording? I think it was like when we recorded Fuck That Car or something, that your nickel harpa started making
Yeah.
a noise.
Yeah.
And in the beginning it was only you who heard the noise.
Yeah. So for
And
me
we
and
were like,
Anna,
we
it
were
was
like, we don't hear it. Like we listened to the recordings, like we didn't hear it.
the studio engineer.
Jeroen, he
no.
didn't hear it. And we
No.
were like,
And
Petrus,
he's
you're
an
going.
expert.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
really good. So it's
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
And we had been like in the studio for 4 days, like eating there, sleeping there, just being in the studio. And I was like,
In the
okay,
global.
in the global.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, now we're starting to get like crazy hearing things that we don't hear. Also with these instruments, sometimes like there are noises, but then there was actually something with the nickel harpa.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had to spend like hours to get it.
So
Right.
many things.
Yeah,
that-
for one tune, the last tune, right?
I think it was the last tune or something
Yeah.
like that.
so many different pieces that can just break and start making noises and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it was. I
No, it
just
was
put
something.
I just put stuff
Yeah.
over.
It was
But-
also
but
a
it's
very
good now?
fun
Is
coincidence.
it gone now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Congrats,
Yeah.
Petrus.
Thank you.
It also happened when we got Ward into the studio to film.
Yeah.
And it was like all the filming was on the nickel harpa. So I was like,
This
why
was
is this
the
happening
plan.
now? The plan was like
I was like in
documentary about nickel harpa.
in panic, you know. I just called my old teacher Olof, and it was like, yeah, I know what that is. You need to do that and that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. Nyckelharpa guru.
Yeah, but it turned out good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we got a question actually like how did we get into playing our instruments?
Yeah.
So
I
do you want to start with the nickel harpa?
Yeah, sure. I come from an area of Sweden called Uppland. It's like the southeast. And that is the Nyckelharpa area where this instrument was developed. So they had that at the school when I was 8. So they had this kind of like a showcase, like this is the instruments that you can play. And they had this one. And I thought I thought it looked really cool with all these buttons and this one things. It kind of looked like a sledgehammer, you know. So I wanted to try it, and then 20 years passed, more or less.
Have you built it yourself?
I have. Did you build your own car, or no? I bought it. That's a common question.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I started playing the fiddle when I was 5, not by my own choice. My parents put me in on the wait list to start playing the fiddle when I was 2, I think, or something like that. And then I got a spot when I was 5. So I've been playing the fiddle since then. And at high school, I was taking both classical lessons, but I also took private lessons for a fiddle player, Maria Jonsson. And she played viola d'amore, and I thought it was really cool. So after high school, when I started studying music full-time, one of my teachers, Ola Bäckström, who was also the first teacher I actually had in folk music when I was a kid, he had this fiddle group for kids with trad music. He also played viola d'amore, so I tried his and ordered one from the same builder, Tommy Johansson from Äppelbo, and just fell in love because it's instead of a regular fiddle that has 4 strings, it has 5. So I also get a bit more bass, and it's more I can play more second voices. So it was more it became my ensemble instrument. Yes, I've been having that. My first d'amore I've been having for 5 years. No, more. It must be more. 7, 8.
Yeah.
And then I bought another one earlier this year from Anders Norudde.
Yeah, and for me, both of my parents are musicians as well. Both of them play the violin and fiddle. So I think I was 5 or something when I started with the classical music method Suzuki. And I played Suzuki until I was maybe 13, 14, something like that. And then when I was some years before I stopped with the Suzuki, my fiddle was crashed.
I saw it actually when it happened.
And that's a really long story to tell you, so I will not do that now. But it was smashed into so many pieces that they couldn't try to even fix it. So from the money that we got, or that my parents got from the insurance, they could afford one regular fiddle and one Hardanger fiddle that was in very bad shape. And this one is that Hardanger fiddle. So, and I think they bought it because I have really got into the Norwegian music. That was the only thing that I listened to at the time. So we bought this, and I started to play on this on the side of the fiddle. And then it has became my what do you say? My main instrument, I guess. Yeah. But I'm not educated in this one at all. So it's really weird. I have spent a lot of money and time on studying the regular fiddle, but I never played. But this one is...
Because the technique is quite different.
Yeah, it
sounds beautiful.
For those.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. And then then I borrowed this one for you said 3 years now or something like that.
Yeah.
from an old friend. Yeah. So I think that's
Any regrets?
a lot.
Yes.
I would like
The
to see,
tuning.
Yeah,
The tuning.
you know, when let's say like when we're
9500 something.
maybe, I mean, if we're lucky and the time has come, it would be nice to see like a meter of how many hours have we spent tuning.
Yeah,
More of tuning than sleeping, I guess.
definitely. Well, it's worth it because most of the times they stay in tune.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Should we see if we have any more questions?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go through them all.
Maybe go through them quick.
Yeah.
And then
Okay, when do we play in Malmö next time? We don't
never.
know.
We don't play in Malmö.
Yes.
If you manage to get us a gig in Malmö,
We will come.
Yeah.
we will come.
Yeah. But-
Actually, we have played there.
yeah,
We
it was
did play
amazing.
there. Yeah, it was really good. So
What was the name of the venue?
It
Moriska
was
Paviljongen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moriska.
It was great.
Really
It was
nice.
really good.
So,
Yeah, we want to come back to Malmö.
book a gig and we'll be there.
Yeah.
We hadn't time to actually go out and see the city.
Yeah. You can show us the city as well,
Yeah.
Okay,
if you want to. I mean,
if you will. I think that was all the questions
Wow.
that we have now.
yeah.
Should
Okay.
we wrap it up?
Yeah, we
And
should.
play
I
one
think
more
Petrus
tune.
has some global left.
It was not a hit, but you have the julmust. It's like the thing I will miss most with not being in Sweden.
No, it's can't pour it. But,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so we.
kind of grows on me, actually.
Yeah, it gets better. Like when the alcohol hits your.
Yeah, probably.
You're like, this is
Numbs
great. I
everything
love
out.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The album
thank
will
you.
be out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, go for it.
The album will be out on January 12th
Yeah.
on all streaming platforms, but you can pre-order it. And it's will be released on Trad Records, an amazing label that we love working with
Yeah.
from Belgium. We're so happy. We have like this amazing team
Yeah.
for this album.
Yeah, check out their releases.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
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 Thank you so much for watched.
Watching. Yeah. Should we finish with a tune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Which one? Fasterud?
Yeah.
The opening track from
Yeah.
the
In what
album.
key? If the
It's-
audience want to know.
I don't know about the key, but you play it on the C.
Okay.
I think it's
I think
in
it's
C,
in
right?
C. I'm terrible at like theory and keys and all of those things.
You just go for this sounds nice.
Just so you know, on our concerts, we are tuning, but not as this much.
No, we were like, now we have the time to tune as much as we want.
Yeah.
But we do it for you.
And for us, because it's horrible.
It's horrible. It's like a scratching on your brain.
Yeah.
You can't reach it.
No.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys.